Hello, it's Bren with Addicted to Cricut, bringing you another Cricut tutorial. Did you notice that I didn't say beginner tutorial? Because this is a little bit more advanced. But I think that if you stick with me to the end, you will understand how to do it and you will love it. It will help you. What we're going to talk about today is Cricut registration marks. And if you've never heard of that before, that's okay. Most people who are beginners haven't. Basically what it is cheat marks that you create for yourself to help you either line up a project so that it's completely level, or to line up several different pieces of an image that go one on top of the other. Because sometimes you just can't get them right, and it's a little aggravating, especially when you're dealing with vinyl and you stick it on there and then it's wrong and you can't really get it off. So let's talk about Cricut registration marks today. I'm going to show you how to make the Cricut registration marks for a very simple image that I created. You can do this with other SVG images also. Now the reason I say SVG is because you have to be able to separate each level, each layer, and to be able to work with each one individually. Let's go over to the Cricut Design canvas and take a look at this, and let's get started. Okay, here we are over at my canvas. I've already created this design. This is my home state and where I live, and I thought it would just be kind of fun just to use this as a nice little illustration. There are 3 pieces to my design. Look over here on the right hand side. You can see I have the heart, the river, and the state itself. Okay, and those are important to know. So basically the river is what's going to be hard to get on there, because as you can see, it's a separate piece. It was hard for me even to figure out how to copy it, cut it, get it on there. And so I want to make sure that when I go to put this on my design, that it's going to line up exactly. So let me show you how to do that. Let's come over here to shapes. You can use squares, you can use stars, circles, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to use squares. I'm going to get 1 for now. And I'm just going to size it down to about like right there. And I'm going to put it near my image, but not on it, and more like a frame of it, okay? Now I'm going to duplicate this one more time because I want one more over here, okay? And I don't want it in line with my image, because when I go to put this image down on my piece of wood or whatever that I'm going to put it on, glass, I'm going to put the registration marks on the wood or the glass, and then I'm going to smooth everything else down, and then I'm going to take those registration marks off. So I don't want it near my design, or else when I am working on it, it'll get, worked into it, and I don't want it to be. I want it to be able to, so that I can take it back up. Okay, so these squares are what we're now going to call registration marks, okay? So click on the first one, hold down your control key on your computer, and click the second one, and that links them both together. Now come down to the bottom right-hand corner and click Weld. Now they are one piece, okay? Now let me just show you a little trick to make sure, well actually I should have done this before. Let me unweld it. No, I'm still seeing weld. Hold on. Okay. So I'm not seeing a welded piece over here on the right hand side again. Let's say that I didn't have these quite level and I want them to be level, because that's what I'm going to do, or what I'm going to use to make sure that my project is level. I can't tell you how many times I've done a project and actually put it up where it's supposed to be, and it is off like a minute, and it drives me crazy. So anyway, so click on the first one, and way over here where it says position, put 1 period, or just 1, and it will take it and put it to that space. So this one over here, you're going to do the exact same thing. And it takes it up to the exact same space. Now they are level. You know that, okay? So once again, let's click on the first one, hold down the Control key, and hit the other one, and we're going to weld them. Okay. We have 3 different layers or 3 different colors: the heart, the river, and the state. So I know that I need 3 separate individual registration bars, because now they're 1. So I'm going to duplicate this 2 more times. Okay, and I'm just going to pull those down here. We don't need those right now. Okay, so let's just work with one level at a time. Let's work with the state. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to hide the river and I need to hide the heart, because I don't want to move my image, because everything's perfectly lined up right now. Even my registration marks are perfectly lined up with my image, so don't move anything. Okay, come over to the right hand side and you'll see weld result, weld result, weld result. Ignore those. But the heart, let's hide the heart. And the way we do it is to click on the eye. And now it has a line through it, so you know it's hidden. Let's do the same thing to the river. Okay, now look at my design. Both of them are gone. We can't see them. They're not like moved or gone. They're just invisible from what we can see right now. So what we want to do is we want to draw a square around our registration marks and our first layer, and we're going to weld those. And our registration marks will become the color of our image. Okay, so now that one's done. That layer has its registration marks. Now let's move on to the next one. Before we hide the state, though, we need to move up our next registration marks. And we're going to have to move them to the front so we can see what they are. So come over here to Arrange, Send to Front, okay? And then just move those down in here. And remember, we wanted to make sure that they were set at the right thing. So come over here and put in 1, and they are exactly set. Now we are going to work with the heart. But first we have to hide our state. So come over here to the weld result with the state in it. Can you see it here? And we're just going to hit hide. And we're going to come down and we're going to unhide the heart. Okay. Now it looks kind of funny like that, but that heart is lined up exactly where we want it to go on the image, so we want to keep it there. So once again, put a square around our registration marks and our image and weld them. Okay, the weld marks turned into the same color as that layer, and we're done. One last time, let's move the last set of registration marks up. We're going to hit the Arrange button, send to the front, move them down a little bit, but then let's come over to the position and put in a 1 point, and it's going to move them exactly to the right position. Now, once again, let's go over and hit hide for my heart, hit the eyeball, and I'm going to unclick the eyeball for my river. Okay, and once again, all we have to do, because it's all set, because we didn't move anything, is highlight all of that and weld. And once again, the registration marks turn the same color as the layer. Now let's unhide everything, okay? And sometimes, depending on how you did this, you'll need to move a layer to the front or move a layer to the back. For instance, my green state is my back layer. I know that. And then the river and the heart, you know, they go together. So I don't need to like move them to the front. But this worked out perfectly. Now, let's go and see what it looks like on our Cricut mats when we hit Make It. Let me make sure that this project isn't too big for my mat. Nope, we're good. Let's go. Hit Make It. So every piece is divided up on its colored mat. Now, of course, our mats aren't colored the same color as our vinyl, but it's actually showing us, okay, this is the red mat. This is where the red vinyl goes. And as you can see, it has laid it out perfectly for us. So it will cut it out just like that. Then all we have to do is trim it up and be ready to put it on our project. Same thing with the green level, which is the state, and the river too. So now all I have to do is load my vinyl on my Cricut mats and cut them each out and then we're ready to go. Now let me go back and show you what I do so that I can get these to fit a little bit better in the process of taking them off. Okay, so each level, after you've printed it, after you've cut it, each level is going to get a transfer tape. We know that, okay? So put your transfer tape on there, but don't take it off. Don't take your vinyl off its backing yet. So leave the transfer tape on the top, okay? This will help you guys. Don't overthink this, just listen to me, okay? So what I do is once I have everything cut and transfer tape on, I come through and I cut each piece. And let me just use a square to kind of show you where I cut each piece. I'm just going to make a line out of this. So I would come in here. Let me make this red so you can see it a little bit better. I would come in here and I would cut right here. Okay? And I would cut the exact same on the other side, right next to the registration mark. Okay? And that way I can line that registration mark up to either my mark that I put on whatever project that I'm going to do, or in the corners of a picture frame or a piece of glass. Because if you've got all this transfer tape and stuff on there, your registration marks are going to be hard to line up. And then the other thing that I do is I cut kind of, oops, I don't want to do that. I cut kind of not a circle, but what do you call a curved line right here from one side of the registration, dipping down a little bit up to the other one, so that I kind of have tabs on my registration mark. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. Just do it. Just try it just this once, and then I'll help you to do it. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take, I would take my green state at this point. My transfer tape is on the top, and the backing is still on the back of my vinyl, okay? So what I would do is I would peel the back of my vinyl down just a little bit, and I would fold it so that my registration marks are there. And I would line that up perfectly on my project before I do anything else, okay? So line that up, make sure that you've got them exactly where you want them, and then slowly peel off that backing layer with the transfer tape on the top and the vinyl layer on the bottom, the backing, and peel that off, and then lay your project down and use your scraper to scrape along. Don't scrape the registration marks because you're going to want to peel those up, okay? So after you get that down smoothly, you're going to peel up your transfer tape, and it should come up nicely. Now you're ready for the next level. So I would probably do the river next. So I would get the blue, and once again, I would cut it on the sides and the dip on the top, like I said, and get those registration marks, fold back on the vinyl backing, and fold it so that I just have the registration marks to work with, and line them up perfectly with the green ones. Once you've got that and you're happy with that, pull the backing of the vinyl off so that the transfer tape can lay it down, and lay your river down in the exact place that you need it. Then you do that with the heart, and you're done. Now don't forget to come back and take up your registration marks. We don't need them. They are just to help us to line everything up perfectly. I don't always use registration marks when I do layered vinyl, but when I have something like this that I really, really, really want to be perfect, I want to make sure that I line it up. Because once those two pieces of vinyl touch, the sticky part and the vinyl, it's hard to get them apart. Okay guys, that's it. I didn't show you on my craft table because I thought it might be a little bit harder to actually show you. But I think you guys can do this. So find a really simple SVG image or create one like I did, and just practice and just see what you think. They're kind of cool, especially for leveling things. I do a lot of words, and my words are not quite, I don't like that. So just try it and see what you think. I think you're going to love it. Okay, guys, go and have a happy crafting day.